my son is a gamer, so I've been on stuff before multiple times. Yeah.
He was trying to
Did
set
you
up.
bid
He was trying to set up a gaming session with
on
Pokey for
playing
his
games
son.
with someone else.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have another special surprise guest that I'm excited to talk to.
Wait, really?
Yeah, his name is Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
And he's sitting here on standby. We're going to welcome him into the stream.
That's the
We're
guy
gonna
from
have an
Shark
Discord.
Tank.
Yeah, he's in Discord right now.
That's the guy from Shark
And we also
Tank.
have another gentleman by the name of Hank Green, who is sitting here right now in Discord on camera, ready to go. We're going to introduce them to the stream right now. I've got them on video. They should, well, I think you guys have to turn it on one more time. There we go. There's Mark Cuban and Hank
What
Green.
up?
Gentlemen,
Oh
welcome,
my God.
welcome to the broadcast. How are you guys doing?
What
I'm
up?
great.
Look at y'all.
Hello.
Adjust the volume.
Well,
Nice to meet you.
welcome again. Let us introduce ourselves
Hank
because
Green,
you may
is
not
he
know who
known?
we are. My name is Austinshow. I'm a Twitch streamer. Pokey, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Pokey. I'm also a Twitch streamer, content creator. I have a question for you later, Mark. Oh my God, I think we're mutuals on Twitter. Bestie.
Oh,
Anyways.
oh my God.
And Sykkuno, go ahead and introduce
Hello,
yourself.
I'm Sykkuno. I usually use a camera, but I've been sick with a skin problem, so I'm using this virtual avatar. Do you guys know what a VTuber is?
I do, but I also really
do?
enjoyed you explaining it to Bernie Sanders.
Oh my God. I
enjoyed
tried.
him
I tried.
asking, do you know, and then not explaining. Not explaining at
I'm
all.
gonna be
And then
honest. I
have
don't
to
even know.
explain
I
every
just kind of
time.
ask. Well, I'm Sykkuno. Great to meet you. And Mark, this is completely random, but I know you do this medicine thing, and my sister buys from, I think it's your website all the time, and it saves her a lot.
That's so cool.
I think you do a lot of good stuff.
Hospitaldrugs.com. Check it out.
Yeah.
I already do. I already do.
And Ray, last but not least, introduce yourself.
If you guys didn't know, he has a
Hello,
website
my
to
name is
sell
Valkyrae.
medicine in America
It's so
for
nice to meet you
cheaper
guys. This
than
is
normal.
crazy.
My sister uses it, and it helps a lot because healthcare in America is.
So,
cool.
guys, well, first, thanks again
So,
for joining us here on Twitch. You
I think
guys
it's a
have
good
on
thing he
Twitch
does.
before, right?
Yeah. You
I
wanna
don't
hear
know
my
everything
Twitch
else he
story?
does,
Yeah.
but he
Wanna
does
hear
do
my
a
Twitch
medicine
story?
thing.
I'd love to.
And I've
Remember,
used it
Twitch
before.
started as Justin
It's
TV.
just to help people
Yeah.
afford medicine.
Oh my God,
It's
you
a really
know
good
the
thing.
lore.
Way back when. So you might not know this, but I started a company before Justin TV called AudioNet, which turned into Broadcast.com, which was the very first streaming company ever. And this dude named Justin came to me and started asking me about streaming, which turned into Justin TV, which turned into Twitch. So that's like my backstory
God.
for Twitch.
Oh, wow.
That's
So
crazy.
you've
That's
known about this for
crazy.
quite some time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, going way back. Yeah, before you guys were born.
This is crazy.
Yeah, you're like, he knows the lore. No, we're just old. We just were around then.
But Hank, you've been in this universe too. I've seen you on some podcasts.
I
in our
get
universe.
around. I just had a really weird experience, you guys. I have to be honest. So I was supposed to
Tell
pop
us
in
more.
earlier when Bernie was here,
Yeah.
but I was on another Zoom call, Writers for Kamala Harris Zoom call, which I scheduled first. That got pushed back late, so I wasn't here in time for Bernie. But I was like, I'll just pop over and see what's going on over there. I'm hanging out in the waiting room, and Mark Cuban pops up.
Yeah. So
I was playing Bernie in Call of Duty. I kicked his ass.
What?
So it was time to come on. What can I say?
What did he say? Hold on, I'm adjusting the volume.
absolutely. No, look.
Wait, how do you get the new Call of Duty? That doesn't come out till Friday.
Was coming, did you?
I did not. And then they were like, "You're gonna ask some questions to Mark, right?" And I was like, "Mark Hamill," and they're like, "No." And I was like, "Well,
Another one. Star Wars.
Well, look, I'd like to open it up here and ask a couple of questions.
I have a very important question.
Oh.
Mark,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
again, hey. Lovely to see you. Like I've seen you before, haven't, but hi. Anyways, I was so curious. Do you happen to have ever bid on gaming with a streamer in a charity auction by
Wait,
chance?
what?
Yeah, of course.
It was real.
Yeah, multiple times. Like I wasn't doing
It
it so
was
much for me, but like
real.
I got 3 kids, and like my son is a gamer, so I've been on stuff before multiple times. Yeah.
He was trying to
Did
set
you
up.
bid
He was trying to set up a gaming session with Pokey for his
games
son.
with someone else, potentially me. I'm guessing no, but someone. I did a charity auction, and I auctioned off an hour of my time. Someone bid under your name like $200,000. It's insane.
What? No,
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure it
not
wasn't
me.
you.
No,
Oh,
it
that would
wasn't-
have
it
been
wasn't me.
so
It
cool.
wasn't
I
me.
just
Pokey,
needed
I would
that
have paid any amount of
confirmation.
money. I would have paid any amount of money. So you know it wasn't me because it wasn't high enough.
Oh my God,
That's awesome.
Jesus!
Oh, we should do another charity.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Jesus,
one.
man.
Anyways,
Okay.
thank you.
Awesome.
I'll leave the floor for more important questions.
No, look,
That was very important.
you know, obviously we're all here. We all support the same ticket. That's obvious. But Mark, you know Donald Trump. You've met him, right? Of all of
I've
us here.
known for a long time.
Yeah, you've known him for a long time. And Hank, I don't know if you've met him. I may be speaking out of turn.
Insider
here.
scoop.
Met Donald
I
Trump.
don't know if you met. I've not met him. I know the three Pokey, Sykkuno, Ray, haven't met, but you've met him, Mark. Could you speak a little bit about who this guy is? I mean, who? Yeah, you know.
So I was just talking about the streaming company, right? And so I met him right after we went public. It was the biggest IPO in the history of the stock market at the time. And a buddy of mine invited me down to Mar-a-Lago for a Super Bowl party. And I'm like, oh, Donald Trump, Super Bowl party, Mar-a-Lago. And it was cheesy as hell. But I met him there. They had Hawaiian Tropic dancers and it was unreal. But
This is crazy, but
I went
isn't
down
he a
there, met him,
billionaire?
and,
Why is he using a
you know,
webcam mic?
I went to he invited me to his
It might
office
be a
because he wanted
meme.
to help. He was trying to get set up on the internet.
Bro,
Knows how long ago it was. And the thing about
Am I
Donald that
wrong?
first caught my attention, I went to his office
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt
in
this story.
Trump Tower in New York. And when you walk into his office, it was the craziest thing. Every inch of every wall in his office and in the hallway to his office is covered with pictures of him.
That's insane.
Very
It's not
weird.
And I
shocking.
literally
Really?
sent an email to my friends. I'm like, yo, if I ever get famous and people know who I am, don't ever let me be like this. So that was the first
Make
thing.
sure that I have
learned
the
from Donald Trump.
messiest office possible. And so they call
Look
you
at
and
it,
they're
yeah,
like,
look at
"Need to
it."
be messier, Mark.
But look, there's an NBA championship trophy.
It's in there
Look.
somewhere.
And look, there's an Emmy award that Shark Tank won. So
Oh my God.
that's for Messi.
Yeah.
The Shark
Well,
Tank
anyway, so
one.
long story short, so I got to know him a little bit, and then he got mad at me. I got mad at him. We got in all these Twitter battles over the years, and then he ran for president. And honestly, just to be truthful about it, when he first ran, I didn't think he had a chance, but I thought this was good, right? Because he's not a politician, and I thought that would be a good thing. And so I was like, Donald Trump could be one of the best things that ever happened to politics because he's not a politician. And because of that, he called me up all the time and we would talk. And the more I talked to him, the more apparent it became, he didn't want to learn anything. And that was like stunning to me. You're running to be president. And I would try to talk to him about different things, technology, and this had no interest whatsoever. And so I got to the point where I just said, I can't support you anymore. So I did an interview where I said I didn't support him anymore. He flipped out, and that's kind of been our history until he won. When God help us, he won. And when the pandemic hit, he called me and asked me for some help on healthcare stuff and pandemic stuff. And we got to be friends again. And then he wanted me to come and go to dinner, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then that was the end of it.
Well, and that
So
seems to. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say, but on the progression there, honestly, when I first met him, he was sharp. He was honest to a certain extent. But he at least understood. It appeared like he understood business. But then, as I got to know him after he ran, it was like he got dumber. It was like he didn't really make any effort, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And now he's worse than he was then. I mean, literally, he didn't really ramble then. He would answer a question. You can have a conversation. But now you hear his answers. It's just ramble.
That's all over the
ramble.
place. It's
Yeah,
from
Go
an
ahead.
outsider's perspective, I mean, like you said, you describe what we see all the time when we turn on the TV. It's like Trump really loves you if you like him, but the moment you criticize him, the moment you turn against him, you are his worst enemy. I mean, he fired like some insanely high percentage of his own vice president, for God's sake, that he ran with isn't even there anymore. It's like,
Yeah, he tweeted at me True Socialed at me the other day.
Yeah.
He was like, Mark Cuban tried to call me, but I wouldn't give him my number. I tried to call him. I didn't have his number.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he's got slow club head speed, like meaning golfing.
Yeah.
Like I can drive the ball so much further than him, it's not even funny. And
Yeah.
then he was like, and he's non-athletic. I'm like, dude, you haven't seen your feet in 20 years. Don't give me shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I have to say, I
Oh
am
my
about
God,
done
man.
with politicians arguing about whether they can play golf better than each other. It's not on the top of my. Can I
Like,
ask
who
you?
cares, right? Who cares?
Yeah, it was wild watching that debate. I was like, I
Jesus.
sign up for a different country, thank you. I am super interested. So I think that this combination of like super security, like he thinks he's always right about absolutely everything, but then also making it so that anyone who questions him or gives him a hard time about something becomes his enemy is such an amazing combination for creating a guy who will have insane ideas and then people will just sort of like, I guess we have to nuke the hurricane kind of vibes. But I want to ask a question about you because you kind of have a similar vibe where you're like, okay, I've done, I've been a media executive, but now I'm going to do I'm going to be really good at basketball team owning. And now I'm going to fix prescription drugs a little bit. Not all the way, but like do like some good incremental change. Like I tweeted about this. The second response I got on Twitter was like, oh my God, that's the guy who helps me with my endometriosis medicine. So like there's something that's different about the way that you're doing this, where you see, I see a problem, I'm gonna go execute around it.
Yeah,
and instead of like the sort of like maybe a little bit Elon Musk vibes of like, I'm gonna just freaking buy Twitter and that's gonna go fine.
Let me just tell you this. I'm the luckiest motherfucker on the planet, right? I mean, there's just never in my wildest dreams did I think this would ever happen to me. And I wanted to just be able to enjoy every minute of every day with, me. And then when I had a family, with my family, and then where I could have an impact, whether it was through the Mavs or now through Cost Plus Drugs. Yeah, if I can help people, of course, which is all the more reason why I've been drawn to Kamala Harris. She wants to learn all these things. She's open-minded. She's not an ideologue. She's not dogmatic. Like literally I've sat and talked to her about AI. Sat and talked to her about machine learning, and I'm not saying she's a super geek at all, but she understands all the concepts. And she wants to learn more on how to apply it to reducing the deficit or improving efficiency and all these different things. And so, you don't get that from Donald Trump. Like he says he knows more than the generals. I mean, do you really want somebody to be president and commander in chief that thinks he knows more? Well, Kamala's like, look, we want the best of the best. I don't care if they're Republican, Independent, Democrat, just bring me the best. And I mean, that's a key reason why I support her.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he thinks he knows he thinks he knows better than anybody else. And he doesn't know any. I mean, we watched him in that debate with her. I mean, it was everybody saw it. I mean, one issue in particular, when you talk about healthcare, they've been trying to repeal Obamacare for forever. And here we are, what is it, years after he was elected president in 2016, and they ask him what your plan is to replace it. And what does he say? I've got a concept of a plan. A concept of a plan.
Well, the best part about that, people talk about business and everything, and I'll geek out a little bit here on the healthcare side. Like for every business, small, medium, or large, their second largest expense item is healthcare. Like you said, he's got no clue. But what does Kamala say? Kamala says we're going after the pharmacy middlemen, these things called pharmacy benefit managers, and we're going to introduce transparency. And those two things together, I know from my experiences, are going to cut people's healthcare costs, or at least starting with pharmacy, cut them 20, 30%. And when you extend that to hospitals and other providers in the future, it can cut it even more. So she's taking real steps in order to change the game. He, like you said, he's got a concept of a plan. This is real stuff. And so when, I've been doing a lot of surrogating, right, if that's the right word, and going out and about and doing interviews, and people always like to try to play gotcha with inflation. I don't want to talk to people who are already voting for Kamala. I want to talk to the ones who aren't. And when they talk about inflation, I'm like, you know what? Inflation starts a lot of different ways, and I don't need to get into that now. But let me just tell you this. The amount of money she's going to be able to save you on your medications and then healthcare will more than make up That's like money in your pocket, and it's going to save you far more than whatever inflation over 4 years has occurred. So that's why you got to get on the Kamala train. She's really going to make it so you have more money in your pocket. You don't have to be in a position where you're choosing between rent and daycare and food and medication. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit. You haven't heard him talking about helping people at all.